I first met John Vanore, I guess it would be on a record for Angel, American Boy Choir. Did a couple albums with him back in the early to mid 90s, I guess. It's my first time I ran across him. Crazy guy. We had a lot of fun. Since then did a few crossover things. And then more recently now with his own projects, I think it's the third or fourth big band album I've done with him to date.
Now you've been around the world and you encounter great music all the time. Puccini, the great classics, modern classical music, modern opera music. Can you tell us how you would describe to somebody in that circle what this Oliver Nelson and John's arrangements, how they might compare, fit together, maybe?
Well, it's easy to draw a parallel between this project, the Oliver Nelson. It's from an particular era of jazz, and it's as simple as saying it's parallel to Puccini in the Verismo time of aria writing, where Puccini and others, Catalan and other Bellini, other composers, were writing a specific style. So, I mean, Oliver Nelson's very unique, as Puccini was very unique, but it was within an era. So I think that's an easy way to describe it, rather than just saying, well, it's classic big band, you know?
And how does John's reimaginations of that fit into that same, like, how would you then describe to someone, oh, well, now you have that Oliver Nelson history, and then John's take on it?
Right, so these are new arrangements of classics from an era. I wouldn't say he's modernized them in any respect. He's just changed instrumentations a little bit. As you know, he writes for French horns. He includes French horns. He's got 2 on this album. And he's sticking with the original harmonies, but he's voicing them across various instruments in different ways. So I would call it John's take on a classic compositional technique, rather than completely new arrangements. He calls them imaginations, of the originals, which I think is a great way to put it.
Is there, as a recordist, engineer, did you find in these past 2 days any particular moment of emotion rather than just the technical?
Oh, right from the start. Yeah, are you kidding? Of course. I mean, I grew up as a musician, so I'm in this because of music. It's not for the money, let's face it. But yeah, it's the musical gratification of being involved with a project like this. It trumps any other part of it. You know, to be honest, I've never been that interested in the technical aspect of sound recording. It's always been more about the actual sound and capturing that sound, but also, and I only work in music. I don't work in sound effects or film or anything like that. I only record music, and it's because that's what keeps me interested in it. So right from the start, yeah, goosebumps. And these players, this music was right from the start. It was really captivating.
Can you comment on John as a leader of the session, given your experience?
Sure. I mean, I see him, and these guys are super.
And who do you see?
John. So I see John in action, and with these guys who are super, but he's very deferential and democratic about it. But he has he's not holding back. He tells it like it is. But what it means is, he delivers the message and it's instantly understood, and he speaks in a language that probably at a higher level than how he would with his college kids. And these guys grasp it right away. He's an expert at running a rehearsal. In terms of how John runs a recording session, the same way he knows he has enough time left to get things done. He's always managing the clock and the time. He's a real pro for that. That's also fun to watch him do. Conducting, he's conducting, and these are his arrangements, and the way he draws out of the musicians exactly what he wants is a special skill.
Is there anything that, if you had to introduce somebody for the first time to John Vanore, using this project as the discussion point, what would you tell them?
I would say Don Vanore is a great musician with depth of knowledge about the history of the music, jazz in this case. He's a great trumpet player. He plays on this album. He's a great arranger. He knows this music inside and out. He's followed Oliver Nelson. He's followed Oliver Nelson for years, and his style and just the way he writes suits the music, and he just brings everything out in his scores.
Do you think there was any impact of recording here in New York City on this day when the studio is not going to be open tomorrow for business?
I'm not sure. I mean, that's, it's a romantic way to look at things, but, once we start a take, my head's in the music, I'm watching the score, and I'm not thinking about the fact that, this may be the last piece of music ever recorded in this room. I mean, obviously, once we stop, that's, in everybody's minds, I mean, we're here in New York for the project because of the players that are here. Specifically, this is a great room. We're here at MSR, and it's a great room for this type of music, so it worked really well. But I think the focus was on the players and the music more than the actual room.
So, what do you think of the music?
I hate it. I hate jazz. No, I love it. It's great. You look, I went on YouTube and saw some of the old, the originals of these pieces, and but with these new arrangements, it has a more unique, more a timeless, I guess is a good word, a timeless feel to the music. So, if you like music, you'll like this album certainly.
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Is that a good ending punchline?
You did.
Yeah.
You nailed it.